In 2009, two important things happened. I won my primary school rivalry against the leader of the girls' spelling bee team, and the housing market of the United States totally collapsed.
That's America's housing market.
Many things caused the collapse, chief among which are two things. One, the entire American economy is based on usury and interest. Two, selling loans or selling debt, which was the main way through which the big banks screwed the American consumers and investors. No one saw this coming. Nobody knew that these things were harmful. And before we mention The Big Short, which is, for those who don't know, a movie that tells the story of a few investors who did predict the crash and were able to benefit from it, gaining billions of dollars, that's not what I mean. These people saw it coming a few months prior. That was already too late to stop or save anything. As it was put succinctly in the movie, the house was already burning to the ground when they noticed the smoke.
I'm standing in front of a burning house, and I'm offering you fire insurance on it.
But nobody expected this to happen years ago as an inevitable result of these practices being staples in the American economy. On the complete contrary, people thought that America had the greatest economy, and of course the big boys who run things can't be oblivious to the possibility that one day it will all come crashing down, 15 million jobs will be lost, people will be sleeping under bridges, and the negative effects will reach Europe and basically the entire world. Let's put this aside for a second. A few months ago, a federal judge ruled against Google in an antitrust case, basically ruling that Google is a monopoly. The $2 trillion giant holds an illegal monopoly over online search and search text advertising. But don't worry, that's a one-off case, right? It's not like Amazon has a monopoly over online retail, cloud computing, and logistics. It's not like AT&T and Verizon hold a monopoly over the wireless communication market, because that's a duopoly. Those are two companies. ExxonMobil and Chevron don't control the oil and gas industry. If it seems to you like all companies are aiming for monopoly, that's because they are. It's one of the founding principles of American core investment. Here is Peter Thiel, the billionaire founder of PayPal and Palantir, saying the quiet part out loud.
On the business side, which is that if you're starting a company, if you're the founder, entrepreneur starting a company, you always want to aim for monopoly. And you want to always avoid competition. And so, hence, competition is for losers.
The losers in question are you and me. And this mentality is the one that produced the fact that the top 1% of Americans own more wealth than the bottom, take this, 90%. Please take notice that the richest 5 people in the US, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and Warren Buffett, have a combined net worth of over $800 billion, more than the bottom 50% of the country. Not to mention the fact that the richest Americans pay lower tax rates than many workers, and many other facts. The entire thing is a powder keg. And another collapse is probably coming. If you think this is sustainable, you're on crack. But did you know that there is a solution for all that in Islam? That's true. Every outrageous financial practice that screws the regular person and enriches the bankers is haram. It's forbidden religiously in Islam, and it has been forbidden before it was discovered that it destroys countries and communities. It's been forbidden in the Quran and in the sayings, orders, and instructions of Prophet Muhammad. Let me give you a few examples. Prophet Muhammad said, "Do not sell gold for gold except in equal measures. Do not sell silver except in equal measures." Same goes for paper, basically money, and do not trade a deferred payment for an immediate payment. It's also forbidden to trade what they call a deferred payment for another deferred payment. That's why you can't sell a loan for a profit. Prophet Muhammad also said, avoid the 7 destructive sins, and among them he mentioned consuming usury or riba. The word riba encompasses more than just interest on loans, but you need a financial expert to explain this to you. I'm just giving you the crust, the bare bones. Prophet Muhammad also said, Allah has cursed the one that consumes usury, the one who gives it, its scribe, like the bookkeeper, and its witnesses. They are all the same. Prophet Muhammad also said on monopolists, the one who brings goods to the market is blessed with provision, while the hoarder means the monopolist is cursed. Prophet Muhammad also said, none withholds goods till the prices rise but a sinner. Let's go to the Quran real quick. God said, O you who have believed, do not consume usury, doubled and multiplied, but fear Allah that you may be successful. God also said, those who consume interest cannot stand on the day of resurrection, except as one stands who is being beaten by Satan into insanity. That's because they say trade is just like interest, but Allah has permitted trade and has forbidden interest. But those are only 2 points when it comes to Islamic finances. Islam has a complete system that prevents communities from being run into the ground because a few bankers wanted to sell more subprime mortgages. The Islamic finance system also prevents the existence of a society where some people use government food stamps to buy baby formula, while others are spending millions of dollars on NFTs and meme coins. But don't get it twisted, Islam has no problem with people being filthy rich. It's the insane disparity of wealth that's the problem. It's the screwing over of the normal guy by a bunch of oligarchs. That's the thing that doesn't exist in Islam. But hey, let's be realistic. There will always be poor people, right? That's just inevitable. That's when zakat comes into play. In Islam, zakat is the third pillar of Islam. Islam has 5 pillars. Zakat is the third among them. Zakat is a very specific and particular way of giving charity. It might differ depending on the type of wealth people have, but since most people have their wealth in simply money, so everybody must be given away 2.5% of their annual savings. Not income, savings. But that's when you have savings above a specific threshold for more than a year. So imagine if Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or any of these people were giving this much of their savings to the poor and the needy. And that's different from taxes, by the way, because your tax money as an American citizen, for example, even if you were piss poor, you still pay taxes. Then it goes to Ukraine or Israel or something. While zakat goes to the designated 9 expenditures. That will include homeless people, will include people who suffer under debilitating debt. So your zakat money by law goes towards the things that your average citizen wishes their tax money goes to. That's the Sharia law that they're trying to scare you away from. I'll end by saying this. Every now and then, an Islamophobe comes up in the West and says that Islam is not compatible with the West, especially America, Canada, and Europe. And Muslims usually try to disprove that and say that yes, Islam is compatible with the West. We have freedom too. Well, that's part of it, but the correct answer is no. Islam is not compatible with 1% owning 50% of the wealth. Islam is not compatible with almost half of your citizenry being one medical emergency away from bankruptcy. Islam is not compatible with Amazon selling products at a loss to bankrupt other companies so they can monopolize the market to themselves. Islam is not compatible with people living their entire lives trying to pay off their debts, and some of them never do it successfully because it's compounded interest. If you are a reasonable person and you hear that Sharia law is conquering the West, you better hope that it does that fast. Because unless you are in the top like 10 or 20% max, you are in a dire situation and there is nothing that could save you but Islam. Finally, if you want to learn about Islamic economy or Islamic finances, please visit chatanddecide.com. It's in 9 languages and you can chat with real people asking them anything about Islam. Finally, I have a special request for our non-Muslim viewers. If you have questions about Islam, please write them in the comments and I will make specific videos for you answering your questions. Thank you very much.